Okay, we are on to lesson number 13, and there's only 16 lessons that come out of my book, the Marketing Playbook. And so this is number 13, and this one's called Making Your Brand Sticky. If you think about the biggest brands in the world, they have one thing in common. They're very sticky. They're brands that stick in your mind. You remember them, you remember what they do, and they also run sticky advertising campaigns. I'm going to give you a couple of examples that will bring, bring some things to mind. So, Nike, just do it. You remember that one. Apple, hi, I'm a Mac and I'm a PC. Budweiser, what's up? K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. Pepsi Taste Test, and those were huge, especially in the 90s when I was a kid. The Dos Equis, most interesting man in the universe. The Marlboro Man, Got Milk. These campaigns are very sticky. They help establish a brand in your mind so you know what that brand does, what they do, what they represent, all of those things. And so making your brand sticky is tricky to rhyme. So consistency creates stickiness. That's one of the things that I always tell advertisers. Be consistent in your marketing. Do something long term. Don't dabble. Don't try things for a month or two to see what happens. You've got to really put an effort into it. Pick things that you're happy with, things that you like, and then stick with them for the long term. Spend your time on your marketing so people look forward to hearing your message. Stand out from your competition. Use emotional cues that appeal to your best customer. Make sure to deliver once you get a new customer. So deliver to them so that they are going to talk, positively about you. And don't be afraid to fail. Learn from what works and what doesn't work. Marketing is a challenge. It's something that's so tough because it's expensive. You worry, I'm sure, that you're losing or wasting money when you put marketing into something that doesn't necessarily return what you thought it would return. So understand that that's okay. That's part of the process. As long as you're using, proven brands that are out there, then your marketing is hitting people, but maybe it's not the right message. Maybe it's not sticky enough. If you remember in one of my other videos, I talked about that continuum between continuity and controversy. So the closer you are to controversy, the more you're going to stand out. Now, of course, you may not be comfortable being very controversial. In fact, a lot of times that can backfire, but greatness happens on the edge of controversy. It's because it grabs people's attention. It makes them think about you. It makes your brand stick in their mind. And that's what you want to do with your marketing. Come up with something that's unique and creative. Be genuine and be real. Talk about what you do and make it happen. And I'm going to give you an example. I went to a networking event today, and most of the commercials that people stand up and give a 30-second commercial about what they do are pretty benign. I do this, I'm in this industry, I help people with this. Those are pretty benign. But there were a couple that stood out to me. One was a life insurance salesman, and he stood up and he said, well, you're all going to die. And, it made you pay attention. It made you lean in and think, oh, what's he talking about? And then another one that is a good friend of mine. He stood up and he said, if you had $100 in cash at the beginning of last year, today it would be worth about $85. If you had $100 in gold backs, which are these really cool gold currency things that he sells from his ammunition and emergency preparedness shop, and he said if you had $100 worth of gold backs, then you would have $125 today. So really a fascinating way to make you think, oh, wow, maybe it would be good for me to have some of those gold backs, or maybe it'd be good for me to accept them at my business, or whatever it is. Saying things that stand out and then consistently saying them. So come up with your messaging, pick the mediums you want to do it in. It's great if you're in, on Facebook. Use Facebook consistently. Facebook does work. I've had great results from Facebook. It's great if you're in a local magazine or if you're in a newspaper. It's great if you're on a billboard. Pick something and be consistent with that thing. Do it continually so that you can continue to build your brand's reputation. And if you're not getting the results, work on the messaging. Work on something that's going to be closer to that edge of controversy that's going to grab people's attention. And it may not be controversial. It may just be, something that's a little silly or a little over the top. Good luck out there. My name's Ryan Speltz. You can get a copy of my free little booklet, e-booklet called Marketing Playbook at ryanspeltz.com.